This is 8 food delivery apps, horror stories animated. We ain't watching the entire 8 because this video is going to be like an hour long, and I'm not doing that. We'll do it till the end of story 4. Let's go. Subscribe. Sorry.
I used to occasionally
Subscribe to these people. Subscribe to Martin Animation, and then subscribe to me. We're road. Oh my, we're on road to 1.3K. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's go.
deliver for DoorDash on the weekends.
DoorDash.
This happened about a year ago, and at the time, DoorDash was new to my area. Not many people used it, but if you worked at the right times, you could still make well above minimum wage. It was a Friday night, and I got a request in the app to deliver to a house around 8 miles away. The house was on a deeply wooded back road.
See?
With absolutely
Nope. I ain't doing that, bro.
Lights. Like, literally, if you turned your headlights off at this time of the night, you were completely blind.
Oh, heck no. No! What? Okay, I might just spoil it. I gotta turn this up, it's too low.
Delivered to a house in this area once before, but that was when it was light out, which, trust me, is a way different scene. I didn't have much for phone service, so it was difficult to find exactly where I needed to be. But after a while, I finally found the place.
Okay.
The house seemed pretty similar to a lot of the other houses in the area. Secluded looking, and right on the edge of being able to comfortably call it abandoned. I pulled up to the house.
See, just leave. I didn't risk my life for like $12.
Limited visibility, I decided to keep my car's headlights on while I dropped off the food at the door. But to do this, I had to keep the keys in the ignition, and so I did. I figured it wouldn't be the end of the world if I left
a good idea, so you can run the
car running for an extra 30 seconds. I took the bag of food to the front door. I knocked a few times, and waited about 20 seconds.
By the way, you get a snack.
When my phone went off.
Oh no, it's about to be like, you're at the wrong address or something.
I was getting a call from a blocked caller ID. I decided to answer it in case it had
You're getting a call by someone by a block. I don't know what that is.
Anything to do with the food I was delivering. It was some man who sounded completely normal.
It was a man.
He explained how he was the one who placed the DoorDash order.
Yeah, you're already dead.
And he then asked me if I could just bring it to him around back.
If you do this, I swear you're just this. You deserve it.
I was already sketched out as is.
Yes.
And so I told the guy, no way.
Yes, good. I like this guy.
He wanted his food. He needed to come to me up front.
Oh my god, why does he look like that? I can just tell your posture sucks. Why is his neck?
To that, the line just went dead.
He gonna open up the door and he's gonna go snatch you.
I told myself.
Just leave the. Aren't you meant to like just knock and leave the food on the door, like on the doorstep? That's literally what. Okay.
I'd wait at the front door for 1 more minute, and if this guy didn't show up, I was just gonna leave. Maybe 30 seconds passed, and the guy did
was
show
this before that phones existed, so you couldn't pay before? Oh.
up. The front door opened.
That guy looked high as.
And I looked at the dude. He was wearing a black ski mask.
That guy looks high as hell. That guy looked like he snorted like 30 grams of cocaine. By the way, why are you built like this? Jeez.
And was just standing there looking at me. I held out the food, but he made no reaction.
This is when you run.
That's when the guy yelled out.
Alright, now.
Right as he said this, 3 men, also wearing ski masks, came sprinting out from around the back of the house towards me.
Oh no.
My flight reaction kicked in immediately, and I ran straight to my car.
Good job.
I opened the door, put it in drive, and had the pedal to the floor in no less than 2 seconds.
That's why you keep your door light open. I'm proud of you.
The men were able to hit my car a good amount of times before I was able to drive off. With what? I don't know. But something strong enough to break my back passenger side window.
With a knife.
And make a few other dents. Not even a minute into driving off, and I got 2 back-to-back calls from a blocked caller ID that I can only assume were both from the same guy.
Yeah.
I let both calls ring until they stopped. I was shaking uncontrollably.
I would too.
Still struggling to regain my composure. But after a few minutes,
that'd be so scary if that happened.
I calmed down enough.
That's why if I'm ever a DoorDasher, bro, I'm just doing it at like daytime.
Call the police and report the incident. And that was that.
Watch. Oh, okay.
I don't know what ended up happening, and I genuinely don't want to know.
Good.
I've tried to distance myself.
Oh god, I know how these ends, bro. There's gonna be like a guy in the back just pops up.
As much as possible. It's beyond terrifying for me to imagine what those guys had planned for me that night. A part of me thinks it was just to rob me, but another part of me thinks they wanted to kidnap me.
Yeah.
Worse.
That guy looks so. Oh my god, that guy looks so high. Oh that. What? This is how I do jump scare.
This happened back in
Okay.
2019 on a Friday night in
Why are
January.
you as big as your house?
I had just gotten back from work and was honestly way too tired to make my own food. I always heard good things about food delivery apps, and so I figured that night was the perfect night to finally download one and try it out. I just downloaded the first one that showed up. I then made an account, placed an order at a semi-nearby restaurant, and turned on
You look
Netflix
like
to watch while I
that.
waited for it to arrive. Now, it's worth mentioning that on this night in particular, there was a lot of snow on the ground.
Okay.
The app said the delivery would take around 20 minutes, but I figured that didn't
So your
account
food's already gonna be cold.
for the terrible driving conditions. I honestly assumed it would probably take double that.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly how much time had passed, but it finally
Does
got to a
everybody
point
have
where I
awful
figured I'd just forget
postures?
it and cancel the order.
Why's your phone so big?
But right before I did, I got a message from the driver. Word for word, the message read, "Can't find your house. What's your personal phone number?"
What does that have to do with anything?
Now, you gotta remember, I had just downloaded the app that night, so I didn't know if it was common or not for drivers to ask for their...
What if I just call this number right now? Should I do it? You know what? Let's do it. I really hope I don't guess like 105369632 1. Yeah, this is a fake number.
We're sorry.
Oh yeah, it's a fake number. It's a fake number. I thought I was about to.
customers' personal phone numbers, but I ended up giving it to him anyway. Around 10 minutes later, he would contact me, but not over a phone call like I expected. The guy texted me, saying he'd be at my place with the food in 10 minutes. This unsettled me a bit.
Yeah, you just killed me. You're literally just selling.
I was under the impression he needed my phone number so he could call me and get better directions, but I just tried to brush it off. Around 10 minutes later, I would get another text saying he left the food on my doorstep.
No. Ask him to send a photo.
I went outside to get it and sent a text back thanking him. I figured that was that,
You're done.
but around midnight, I would get another text.
You got some Thai food?
It was the delivery driver. The text simply read, "I really liked your sweatshirt." This was now getting extremely weird, as the text suggested that the guy had stayed to watch me grab the food from my doorstep. I tried
Why would he say that?
to play it cool and responded with something like, "Haha, yeah, thanks. It's pretty nice."
W man.
I can't remember everything that was said next, but it was some string of multiple texts that were something along the lines of, "So how's your night going? What are you up to?"
Oh, yo, wait, is it a man?
And various
You
other
gotta-
seemingly harmless messages.
Hold up.
To these, I didn't respond. At the end of the day, I told myself I didn't know this guy,
Yeah.
and I had no obligation to keep a conversation going.
Just block his number.
So, I just went to bed. But come morning, I would wake up to 20-something texts and multiple missed calls, all from the same number. It was a
Why is his phone as big as his head?
same delivery driver. The last text was sent at 3 a.m., and as I scrolled through the texts, two in particular caught my eye. One of them read, "I'm outside your house," and the other said, "I can't see anything through your window. It's too dark."
What?
But that wasn't even the worst of it.
God damn, yo, you're a big guy.
I would later go outside to find footprints
Why
in
would
the
you
snow
pause?
that I knew for a fact were not there the other day. Meaning, this guy wasn't joking. He had actually showed up to my house, and by the looks of the footprints, had walked around it multiple times. I've since moved, and haven't
Good.
received another text from the number. That was the first and only time I will ever use a food delivery app.
He's better be behind these bushes. I know how these end. Come on.
I'm 27
Never mind.
and currently out of work.
God, you're ugly.
I recently got laid off at my job, as the company I worked for was starting to go under. So, in an effort to keep up with the bills, I started delivering for Uber Eats part-time.
Okay.
A couple of my friends suggested it, and so I figured I'd give it a try until I found another job. To my surprise, it was actually good money. The only thing I didn't like was some of the places the app had me delivered to. I live in a city with a lot of sketchy areas. I try to stay away from those areas while delivering,
Yeah.
but there's only so much you can do. This night, a Saturday, I got a McDonald's order. I usually don't
Why is the bag as big as his head? Oh my God.
accept those ones, but this night
Can't with these animations, bro.
was strangely dead, which was weird. Saturday nights are usually the busiest for Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Anyway, I pick up the order and start
Take
heading towards the
a
address I'm
bag.
given. Instantly, I realized it was not in the best area, but by this point, I decided to just suck it up. I pulled up to the house, and right away the vibe was off.
No, I don't care.
It was completely dark with not a single light on in the house.
See, that's when you leave. That's just when you don't like. Fuck this job, bro. I don't care. I'm not risking my life for $13, bro.
Usually there's at least a
$13.50.
light on upstairs, or something that would signal someone being awake and waiting for their order. But the house seemed dead.
That's when you leave.
Nevertheless, I put the car in park.
Why do none of these cars have a back? Like, I know it's animations, but like that's just like.
Turned off the engine, grabbed the order, and started walking towards the door.
Why is his neck like
onto
that,
the porch.
bro? I don't know why. Everything about this animation is just so strange. The bag's as big as his body. His head is, god ugly. And just like his posture, bro.
As I reached for the front door, I saw it. The door was slightly cracked open.
Oh.
I
No,
knocked,
don't open the
and
door.
as I did, the door opened slightly more.
No.
I yelled out that I had an Uber Eats order.
You stupid mother. Just put the bag down and go.
And right away, some man walked to
What
the
the-
front door.
Oh, he ugly. Why are all of these people high?
Like as if he had just been waiting right there. As he got closer, I got a good look at him. Now, I'm not one to judge a person
Wow, Billy, you got some great tattoos.
by their physical appearance, but this guy was practically covered head to toe in tattoos. The guy looked extremely intimidating. Definitely not someone you'd want to mess with. He had this look of frustration,
Just give him his food.
or almost anger on his face. He was staring at me dead in the eyes. I lifted up the bag of food, and he grabbed it. The guy then started reaching in his pocket. I figured he was going to give me a tip.
No, about to give you
But
money.
no, before I knew it, the guy was holding a hunting knife and pointing it in my direction.
Wait, so you thought he was gonna give you a tip, right? So you already got paid. So why did you not just drop it off, knock on the door, and go? I guess.
My stomach dropped, realizing the
It's a $2 tip that is that serious?
situation I was now in. I was either going to get robbed for everything I had, or worst case scenario, killed. My mind was now
Maybe he just wants to show you his knife.
racing. Thinking as fast as I could, I turned around towards my car, screamed
Run.
at Derek to grab the gun, and put my hand in my pocket to start my car's engine from a button on the key.
Who's Derek?
But there was no Derek, and I was in no way armed. But I figured if I could somehow convince this guy I was, I gave myself a chance to get out of this. All I could do was pray that the threat along with the vehicle starting would be enough to convince this guy I didn't come here alone. And luckily it was.
Good
The guy
job.
shoved me back and slammed the front door. I ran back to my car and practically tore the door off trying to get in. I got out of there as fast as I could.
Derek, grab the gun.
I would of course end up calling the police, but I never heard anything back about whatever ended up happening. I assumed they didn't find anything, and that the guy was long gone by the time they arrived on scene. But I can't confirm this. If there's one thing I'm sure of, it's how fortunate I am to own a car with a remote proximity key.
Yeah, that is really good.
As I don't think the guy would have bought the whole act if I didn't start the engine. I still drive for Uber Eats every once in a while.
Why?
I've since started carrying a knife on me at all times.
Smart man. Smart man. I like this guy. Why do these animations keep on going on like this? Stop.
The pandemic has been pretty hard on all of us, and we've all felt its effects in a variety of...
Why is the keyboard so big? You can put your entire hand on one of the keys. Like, what are y'all doing?
ways, but musicians have felt it more than most. I don't mean to throw myself a pity party or anything. I know there are older folks who are actually fearing for their lives, so I've counted my blessings plenty of times.
Yeah.
But for most of my friends, the pandemic just meant working from home or taking a long paid vacation. For me, it meant work dried up entirely. As a professional musician, I've been playing music both solo and with bands for most of my adult life now.
I can tell
It's
because your
fun,
neck
but
pretty
it
bad,
can be
bro.
really tough on occasion, and this pandemic has been the toughest time I've ever experienced. I had to do something, anything to pay the bills.
After this, when the video's gonna be over.
So, when the drummer in my band said that he was making some pretty decent money for working for Postmates, it immediately sparked my
Postmates?
interest. I think the real selling point was how it had benefited his health. Us musicians tend to be much more familiar with a bottle and a glass than an elliptical machine, so riding a bike and getting paid to do it seemed like a great way to get back into a fitness regimen. So, dust off my young brother's old mountain bike,
That
oil up
has
the gears,
literally no wheels on it.
get myself a Postmates driver's account, and I'm pretty much ready to go. I mean, it's kind of messed up that there were no background checks or anything. Like, I literally could have been anyone, but hey, I wasn't complaining at the time. I needed the money, I needed it bad, and there were much worse things than delivering acai bowls that I could be doing.
Acai bowls?
But being a delivery driver brought a whole
that
host
looked
of new
bad on your
occupational
neck, on your
hazards.
back.
And there was one particular incident in the summer of last year.
There's
that
just no
I thought
pedals.
about
He's just pedaling thin air. I'm sorry that I'm pointing so much stuff out, but I just think it's funny.
almost every single day since it happened. So, I get this one job delivering Thai food over to a place in Brentwood. Just this little single-story house that barely stood out from the rest. Postmates has us doing the whole contactless delivery thing by that point, but I always used to hang around just to make sure whoever it was got their food.
Sorry.
Sometimes you had some pretty elderly people ordering from us, since some didn't have any other means of getting food without exposing themselves. It meant a lot to me to know that I was helping like that, even if it was in such a small way.
Such a great man.
Anyway, the dude comes out to get his food, and he's not nearly as old or infirm as I first expected, but he does look tired.
Yeah.
And not just like my neighbor's dog was barking last
And
night,
pretty
kind of
high.
tired. He looked like he was over his own life, just a deep exhaustion set into his eyes. He thanked me through his mask and told me Postmates had been a godsend since his wife left. I could relate hard to that.
That's sad.
My long-term girlfriend
I don't
had left
care.
at the start of the pandemic, too. She just couldn't handle the stress. Couldn't be so far away from her parents during such a difficult time, so I knew what he was talking about. Like I said, he seemed sick and tired, but he didn't hint at actually being depressed or mad or anything like that. He just seemed to be doing that
I don't care
macho guy
about him
thing
at
of internalizing all of his feelings, and again, hard relate. Like I said, I often stuck around to make sure people got their food, and I'd also make a point of thanking people if they tipped big, and boy, did tired guy tip big. Right as I'm about to ride off on my bike, I make a point of telling the guy how grateful I am that he was so generous with his tip. It's literally people like him that mean I don't have to pawn my guitars to pay the rent. He just kind of nods, then says, "Just don't make the same mistakes I did, kid." I wasn't a kid.
Wait.
I was 28.
Wait. Oh, I'm guessing. I'm a guess here. He killed his wife. I'm guessing here. I don't care. I'm guessing.
But the weight of experience in the guy's voice, I just took it on the chin. The very next day, I get another delivery up that way, so I decide to cycle past the guy's house. I'm not 100% sure why. I guess I'm a
You're
creature
gonna
of
see
habit
him burying a body. I know it. I'm
or
guessing.
something. But as I roll up,
Yes! Oh my god, if I'm right, I'm him. If I'm right, y'all owe me a sub right now.
I can already see that something is horribly wrong. There's a cop car sitting in the guy's driveway, and his gate is
I
blocked
swear I did not watch this video before.
off with blue and white police tape. There's one cop sat in the driver's seat of the cruiser, and he gets out to ask me why I'm
Why does that guy look so depressed? What the
gawping at a
yo?
crime scene. I ask him what happened, and he tells me to move along before turning his back on me. But then on the fly, I say "But, officer, that's my uncle's place."
Wait, what?
And I drop the same name he'd used for his Postmates delivery.
Wait, that was your uncle?
As soon as I say that, the cop stops dead
Wait, I'm so
in
confused.
his tracks and turns around and sighs. That's when I know it wasn't just some home invasion or a car theft or something. That's when I knew it was darker than I could have imagined. The cop says something like, "Look, I'm sorry, but you're better hearing this from the next of kin. Besides, homicide doesn't have a full picture of what happened yet." Is he okay? Is my uncle okay?
Wait, did he die?
I ask. He was taken to the hospital, but
Oh no.
after that, I'm not sure. I'm so sorry, sir.
Oh no.
I had to do my own research to
What is he like? I
find
can't.
out what exactly actually happened.
Did he commit it, bro?
To me, it was way worse than home invasion or something.
No.
The older guy, the one who'd been so generous with his money and his advice, had a full-on mental breakdown the very same day that I brought him his food.
No.
From what I could gather, he'd been ranting and raving in his driveway, and then when the cops showed up, he waved a gun in their faces.
And then
And that's all she wrote. They shot him dead right there in his driveway.
Oh no.
I don't know if he was
Well, I guess y'all don't owe me a sub because I was wrong, but
trying to end his own life by cop, or he actually had some kind of mental breakdown. But if it all happened that same night I dropped his food off, then I basically fed this guy his last meal. The final thing that ever passed his lips. A couple of hours later, he was dead. I don't know why, but that
why'd it gotta end off on such a sad note?
messed with me something awful over the weeks that followed. I kept thinking that maybe if I'd stuck around, maybe if I asked him more about his problems or his life in general, maybe it had given him the strength to carry on, at least for a little while. Or maybe it was always going to happen. Maybe he'd planned it or something, and nothing I could have said would have made a difference. For the longest time, those were the kinds of thoughts that I just couldn't seem to shake. Like the guy was a ghost that just haunted me, no matter where I went, or what I did.
Why we have to end it off on such a sad note? Oh no! I thought he killed his wife, but oh no! What the fuck? Oh! Wow. That was a very interesting ending. So yeah, I'm subscribing. That's good. Subscribe to Martin Animations. I guess y'all don't owe me a sub, but I mean it would be nice if you can. Road to 1.3K. Yeah, bro. Peace. Like.